We wanted to be a little more vertically integrated and have a little more control over the materials and processes of how we're doing it, to control gradations better and process the material to meet our needs and our schedule. We approached this hoping that we would be able to at least break even. Now that we're into the operation, we're actually seeing a great advantage cost-wise over what we were previously doing. We're saving about 30 to 50% over what we were paying. I'm Vince Hafley with Ajax Paving, the Vice President of the Plants and Materials. Processing wrap in Florida is huge. All producers process wrap. All producers run high quantity wrap to be competitive and get work in this state and this market. You have to be able to get wrap into the mix, particularly on the West Coast where we're at. And again, using the equipment now, we're able to get more wrap in there, which makes us more competitive. We're spread out along the West Coast from north of Tampa down into the Naples area. We hit different types of materials. So we're processing everything from soft materials to the new hard materials required for the super pave requirements.
There's one certain type of material that we've seen more problems than others, and a lot of people in industry will know that it's an FC5 friction course product. My name is Tim Gearhart. I've been with Ajax Paving Industries 12 going on 13 years, and I'm the asphalt plant foreman at Plant 3 in Palmetto. The challenges with wrap processing is it's very, very hard. It's very hard to dig, it's hard to break up, it's hard on the equipment. Our crusher is an FT4250. Our screen plant's a GT205S, and we have a 30x80 stacking scaling conveyor. Our production is doing very well. We're averaging a little over 275 ton per hour, and that's very successful.
Annual asphalt tonnage is running around 1.5 million tons a year. Processed wraps in the 500 to 600,000 tons a year. Our original goal was we thought we could process about 60% of the material we use on an annual basis, but now we're thinking that we'll probably be able to process upwards of 80% of the material just because we're getting more out of the equipment than what we anticipated. When we went through the process with Chris Worley and Bo from Flagler, I told them I needed to be in the 200 to 225 ton an hour range. That's what they promised that the equipment would do. Since we've been operating the equipment, we're permitted at 300 tons an hour. We're running about an average of 280, 290. We have done some experiments where we've had the equipment upwards of 400 and 450 tons an hour. So again, the equipment has exceeded what they told us it would do.
Between the 4250 and the GT205S, we're getting approximately 20 ton produced per 1 gallon of fuel. It's a relatively low cost for the material we're making.
What drew me to look at the equipment was that it's made here on American soil. The Astec Corporation, it's an American company. It was important to me to buy American. We went and looked at some of the Astec equipment. We talked to people that was actually running the equipment and had nothing but positive comments from those people. They said the equipment would do what the manufacturer promised it would do. Along the way, we did look at some other crushers, but they weren't made here on American soil. Very happy with the equipment and the process it went through. The local Flagler dealership that we bought the equipment from is able to service us up in the Tampa area as well, down in the Fort Myers area. It was important to have a local dealership that was within an hour of our operation, wherever we may be processing. They've been very responsive. We found that with operating our own equipment now, we're able to experiment and do things that we traditionally have not been able to get a sub that crush for us to do. We've been able to experiment with screens and change process a little bit to allow us to process the wrap differently, which is allowing us to get a larger quantity of wrap into our mixes that we produce. So not only is there cost savings on the processing side, we're able to get more recycle into our mixes, so there's a cost savings on the production side as well.